Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro. In this follow along, we're going to be looking at Knative, which is a serverless or serverless-like platform or tool for Kubernetes. And so because this is such a heavy-duty tool on top of Kubernetes, I don't want to pollute our existing micro K8s environment. So I'm going to create a new environment here, and we're going to call this K or micro K8s. Knative. So it is a bit work to set up, but in this case, it makes sense to do it. Okay, so we'll do env. I'll go it next. We're going to choose a T3 medium just so that we have sufficient space and or memory. And here we'll choose Ubuntu, and we'll go next steps. And we'll go ahead and create that. I really, really wish AWS would let us choose the storage size. I'm just going to check if there's any additional options. No, they really should let you do that because it's such a pain that you have to go resize stuff. We'll go ahead and create this environment. And while that is creating, I'm going to go over to a new tab. We'll type in console.aws.amazon.com. We'll make our way over to EC2. And we are looking for this new environment because we need to increase that volume size as per usual. So we'll give it a refresh here. And is it here? Yeah, it's right there. So we'll go into here. We'll go over to storage. We will choose the volume. And I will go to actions. And is the volume ready yet? Oh, we have to choose it. Modify the volume. And we'll change this to 40 gigabytes. We'll hit modify. We'll hit modify. We'll go back to EC2. And even though it is running, we are going to restart it, reboot it, just to save us some trouble here. And so now we just have to wait till this connects. And then from there, oh, did it really reconnect that fast? Nope, it's reconnecting. Okay, great. And so we just need to wait for that reconnection to happen. As that's going, let's go take a look at Knative. So Knative, here is enterprise-grade serverless on your own terms. So it's this Kubernetes-based platform to deploy and manage modern serverless workloads. If you're wondering what Knative is compared to OpenFOSS or other serverless frameworks, strongly recommend reading this article. It's like versus OpenFOSS. It is an article on the CNSF blog, and it's very, very good at explaining this stuff. I like to the point that I actually grabbed this quote here and put it in the course so we could understand the difference between the two. But if you get an opportunity to read this whole thing, and it doesn't just talk about those two, it talks about all the types of open source frameworks, serverless frameworks for Kubernetes. But coming back over here, the idea is Kubernetes, and just going actually to this article because it does outline it pretty well. But Knative already uses components that we're familiar with, like Istio, and then it uses Kubernetes underneath, of course. But there's three components to it: building, eventing, and serving. And so eventing and serving is where we're spending most of our time. But the idea is serving is the ability to quickly serve stuff that will automatically scale from scratch, have routing and networking. So the idea is that when we are utilizing Kubernetes, we have to provision all these things like services and pods and deployments. And so the idea with Knative is that you just have one line and it does all the stuff for you. You don't have to set up horizontal pod autoscale or anything. It just all works for you. Does snapshots. It has revisions for your code. And then on top of that, it has eventing. So the idea is that not only does it make it easy to just provision things and have all those nice services around it, but eventing allows you to trigger when these functions should run based on a bunch of stuff. And so there's a whole ecosystem with that. I'm not sure why the redirecting is kind of messing up here. So yeah, down below, they had it on the website before. I'm not sure why I can't seem to find it right now, but on the Knative page here, they had a good description. Oh, here, serving. And so they talked about the integrations they had. I can't seem to find it right now, but the idea is that you can trigger stuff for that to happen. So, oh, we're under serving. I wanted eventing. That makes sense now. So the idea is that you have triggers, channels, descriptions. There's all sorts of ways to trigger your Knative events. But now this environment's ready. What we'll do is get micro K8s installed. So we'll do the classic here. Okay. And while that is going, I'm going to install kubectl just to save myself some time. We'll just do kubectl. I think I might have just accidentally canceled that out there. Okay, so kubectl is installed. Micro K8s is almost installed here. And then we'll have to wait for the server to spin up. As that is going, we'll go back over here and look at the tutorial to get getting started here. Look at the quick start here. We'll have to also install KN. So KN is the Knative utility library. So we'll have to go grab the binary as well. So the easiest way to do this is to go to the release page here. And then what we need to do is download the one that we need. So AMD 64 is x64 architecture, x86, sorry. And so that is the file that we need. And I'll need to show that in Finder. And it's just downloading there as well. While this, now that we have microK8s installed, type in microK8s, DNS, and also Knative. Enable. Assuming the microK8s is ready. Oh, right, we need to run these two lines here, so we'll run this one, and we will run this one, and then we'll run this line here, and then we'll go back up, and we will enable DNS and Knative, and those both will install, assuming that the cluster is ready, and I'm still waiting for this to download. Okay, this is now done. And so the idea here, just trying to hide some things in my screen here, but here is the file. So I have it downloaded here, and I'm just going to quickly rename this to KN because it is a binary, right? And then the next thing we need to do is upload it to Cloud9. So if we go to File, Upload Local Files, I'm just dragging that KN file. It's just that file here, right, that we just renamed. And it's going to be there. So we'll go ahead and close that. It uploaded pretty darn fast. Oh, it's still uploading right here. You can see the percentage. So we're just going to wait for that to finish. As that is going, I'm going to go here and make it so that we can use kubectl. So we'll type in microK8s config tilde period cube config. Maybe we'll close this tab here and reopen a new tab. Close. And open a new terminal. And hit up again. We already did this, so I'm not sure why I have to do this twice. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I forgot the S on there. Okay, and then we'll go back there. Oh, you know, I forgot to put the right angle bracket. And so now we should be able to do kubectl get pods, clear. We'll go over here, and it looks like installation is still going. And while that's going, we should move KN into the correct directory. So we'll go back over to Knative, and we'll have to chmod it. So go over here, and we'll chmod, and then we want to move that into a location like user local bin. So we'll say sudo move KN to user local bin. Great, so KN is now ready to go there. And if we go back here, we're just waiting for Knative to finish. Just going to double check to make sure that there's anything else there. We might check the version afterwards, which might be okay to do. So we'll go over here, check our version. Cannot execute binary file, exec format error. I wonder if it's actually a binary. Let me just double check. Oh, did I download the AMD? Did I download the wrong one? That's probably what it is. All right, well, we'll go back over here. And no, AMD is right. Yeah, that's the one that we want. Oh, but I downloaded Darwin. I needed Linux, for frick's sakes. Darwin is for Mac OS. I'm sorry. So we'll download that one, and I guess we'll have to go ahead and delete this other one here. So we'll say remove, sudo remove user local bin KN. And now that it's done downloading, I'm going to go ahead and go grab that one. So I'm just going to delete the other one here. And we will open up our file upload here. So file, upload local files, drag that on over. We'll rename this to KN. We'll drag that back on in there. We'll have to wait for that to upload, which shouldn't take too long. We'll go over here and the Knative should be installed. We'll do kubectl get pods, and we'll just take a look at what was installed because everything's pods, right? So here you can see we have Istio. So Istio was installed for it. We have Knative serving, Knative eventing, just to kind of show you what's going on here. And we're just waiting for this to download, and then we can proceed generally forward. But maybe I'll just take a look and see what kind of code I have here. Yeah, we need to wait for KN. So once we have KN installed, we will then go towards serving our first service. So here they have a hello world go example. And notice we just do KN service create, and it will do a bunch of stuff for us, okay? So that is now uploaded. So now we'll just hit up and do the same thing we did before. So we'll chmod our KN. I'm just gonna close this so it's out of the way. And then we will move our stuff into the correct directory. Okay, KN version, great. So I think we're a-okay. So we'll go back over to here, and we'll go ahead and grab this. Now they do have YAML. Notice that it's using Knative dev, so the specification is different, but looks pretty similar to what we normally see. So we're gonna go ahead and create this. Hit enter, and it's gonna go ahead and create the sample. Now, I think that when I created this, I remember that this hung for a long time, even though it did create the service. So if this takes too long, I might just cancel or kill it out, okay? So I'm gonna type clear here. And as this is going, I'm just gonna go back up here and type in pods and just see if that spins up. So yeah, it is creating the container. And maybe we can just kind of inspect what that pod's doing. So we'll say, I was gonna type, kubectl get pods, paste that in there, and then maybe describe it. And we can just kind of read what it was doing. So down below, it's successfully creating the image, it's pulling the image, it's creating a proxy, things like that. And I'll just hit up here again. Okay, so that pod is there. So go back here. And the idea is that when we run this, we're expecting this output to happen, which seems like it's never going to occur anytime soon. But we did just describe the service. Well, hold on here. So, okay, I know that's never going to finish, but I know that it's ran. So what we'll do is we'll just proceed forward. So I know we didn't have this, and so I had to go look up, kind of see what the command is. So if we type in KN service list, we can see all the services we deployed. So there is hello. Don't worry that it says it's not ready, because it totally did. It did definitely work. And we'll type describe hello, and as you can see here, it says hello default 1 revisions okay type age reason. So it definitely is working, but I don't know why it hangs like this. All right, so but we did install Knative. We did run through the basis of the tutorial. So technically, you know, we did use Knative. In terms of the KCNA, it's not like you really need to know how to do this. I'm just kind of showing you so you get more domain knowledge on this kind of stuff and to kind of show the experience of where you might hit friction there. But I'm just going to stop there. And that's all I really wanted to show you for Knative. So we are done. And what I'm going to do is go back to our, like our Cloud9 stuff, just because we have so many darn environments. I just want to go ahead and delete this one so you are not having spend. We'll type in delete, and that's it for Knative, okay?